Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday night. It was a day of intense diplomacy for President Biden and world leaders, with the president just wrapping up historic meetings in Brussels. Hours from now, he will head to Poland, the country taking in a majority of the 3.6 million refugees fleeing war-torn Ukraine. President Biden announced an additional $1 billion in humanitarian aid that will support people displaced within Ukraine and help countries like Poland handle the influx of people crossing the borders. The president hinted in a press conference today that he will also visit refugees. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy addressed world leaders from Kyiv and pleaded for more military aid, including planes, tanks, rockets, air defense systems, and other weapons. He told the alliance they were capable of preventing more deaths and that Ukraine was defending, quote, our common values. Well, we've got a lot of news to get to tonight, and CBS's Nancy Cordes is going to start us off from Brussels. Good evening, Nancy.
Good evening, Norah. President Biden set a new red line here in Brussels today, threatening to take unspecified action if Vladimir Putin, as many fear, unleashes chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine.
We would respond. We would respond if he uses it. The nature of the response would depend on the nature of the use.
President Biden issued that warning between meetings with his fellow NATO allies and his fellow G7 leaders and the leaders of European Union nations. A diplomatic whirlwind designed to show unity in the face of what could become prolonged Russian brutality. If you're Putin and you think that Europe is going to crack in a month or 6 weeks or 2 months, why not? They can take anything for another month. But speaking remotely, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelenskyy told the leaders he needs more than unity, he needs jets and 1% of NATO's tanks. You have at least 20,000 tanks, he said, adding the worst thing during the war is not having clear answers to requests for help.
We all listened very carefully to President Zelenskyy.
NATO's Secretary General wouldn't commit to the tanks, but he said NATO will give Ukraine more equipment to help protect its citizens from a biological, chemical, or nuclear attack.
This could include detection, protection, and medical supplies, as well as training for decontamination and crisis management.
As the leaders met, the U.S. announced it will take in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees. But that's just a small fraction of the nearly 4 million Ukrainians who have fled the deadly conflict so far. The White House also unveiled new sanctions on what it called key enablers of the invasion, including dozens of Russian defense companies and more than 300 members of Russia's lower parliament, the Duma.
Sanctions never deter.
The president admitted the crippling international sanctions imposed so far may be wrecking Russia's economy, but they haven't forced Putin to change course yet.
We will sustain what we're doing, not just next month, the following month, but for the remainder of this entire year. That's what will stop him.
President Biden heads closer to the invasion zone tomorrow with a visit to Warsaw, Poland, just over 100 miles from the Ukrainian border. There he will meet with refugees and with Poland's president. And Norah, he suggested that he might be going somewhere else that he can't talk about right now for security reasons.
Intriguing. Nancy Cordes in Brussels, thank you.